Hi everyone, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express monorail. We're now embarking on a scenic journey over the highway in the sky. We'll be traveling non-stop directly to the Magic Kingdom, so we ask that you remain seated at all times and no smoking, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the vacation kingdom of the world. The white sandy beach is the beginning of our own Tropic Island resort here in Walt Disney World, the Polynesian Village. The village is all nestled around a South Seas harbor, complete with native outrigger canoes, waterfalls, luau's, and plenty of Tahitian dancing. You're invited to return and visit the islanders anytime during our operating hours, simply by taking the local monorail trains from the Magic Kingdom station. To the opposite side, just beyond the trees, is something special for you golfers. Our two 18-hole championship courses, open to the public. They're the site of the annual PGA Walt Disney World Open, featuring the top touring stars of professional golf. The large neck of land jutting out into the water is the site for another exciting resort being planned for the near future, based on an exotic Asian theme. The beautiful Seven Seas Lagoon is one of the most interesting man-made creations here in Walt Disney World. Even the islands are man-made. It took more than 3 years from the time the lagoon was started until it was filled with water. Incidentally, you can take the World Cruise over both the lake and lagoon aboard old-fashioned side-wheel steamships. You'll find them docked at the Magic Kingdom entrance. We're now on the final leg of our journey over the highway in the sky. Just ahead, you can see the beautiful Cinderella Castle, with its spires rising nearly 200 feet high. The Magic Kingdom is made up of 6 special theme lands: Adventureland, Frontierland, Liberty Square, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and Main Street, USA. The steam railroad at the entrance will take you on a grand circle trip around the entire Magic Kingdom for a glimpse into each land. Thank you for joining us on the Walt Disney World monorail, and I hope you have a pleasant stay in the Magic Kingdom.
Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Let me turn off this music. We are live. Welcome to Now That's Disney's Disney Night Live. It is Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Welcome in, Disney Don and Skipper Jay, and I am NTD David. How we doing?
Aloha.
Aloha. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's moving and shaking on this fun and beautiful Wednesday evening.
It's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. If you expect me to shake, I need more Starbucks.
I need shaking, baby.
Now, Jay, I know you're a local. What's the temperature down by you?
It was 95 today, and it was no humidity. It was perfect day today. I was outside. Little sweat. It's all right. It's summer. It's summer in Florida.
It was in the 90s and high humidity over here on the Gulf side of the state.
Oh, the local yokels are
gorgeous hot day here in Central Florida. But I acclimated to the heat. I am good here. I have gone low. I've gone native.
Nice. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Real quick, I just want to say hi to Lily Johns. Don't worry about missing last week. Lily, hello to everyone else tuning in wherever you're watching. Thank you. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was going to say, as a local, I am going to Magic Kingdom in the morning because I need to get some photos and then some video for two separate projects I'm working on.
Sweet.
I'm thinking about going to Pinocchio Village House tomorrow and trying the all-meat flatbread. But the point of eating at Village House is to go upstairs and eat outside and get that killer view of the castle.
Nice. That is a nice place to eat. You get some nice views over there. It's like Columbia Harbor House, right? You get really peaceful views up on the second floor of the dining area.
Outside Skipper Canteen, Harbor House is my favorite place to eat in Magic Kingdom.
Oh. It sounds like a plan, Stan. What else is happening? What else is going on tonight? Tell us, Donald.
Nothing much. I was just going to ask Skipper Jay if he ever listened to D Magic World while he was at Disney World.
Actually, no, because when I'm there, I am solely focused on the experience. I'm trying to take in every little detail, every sound of the music, and I'm so focused that I don't bring headphones when I go to the park.
Right.
But if Jasper wants me to do a live report for him, I will totally do. I will be like your little news on the ground guy and give you like, hey, here's what Main Street
I bet he would
like today clip.
He might like that. You should reach out to him and ask him.
Yeah.
You know?
I will totally do that for him.
You can always tailgate in the parking lot and listen to D Magic World in the parking lot.
Yeah. True.
I don't listen to Disney music when I go to Disney. It's like
You're supposed to say yes, Jay.
I don't listen to the band when I'm going to see them in concert. It's kind of the same thing.
You don't wear their T-shirt either?
I don't wear their T-shirt either.
I don't understand.
Marie and I, when we drive an hour and 45 minutes down to the Magic Kingdom, we're listening to D Magic World in the car.
That's right.
It gets that motor running.
I don't touch my phone in the car. I put it in the little console, and I don't. I drive a 2005 Honda, man. It's not syncing. Okay.
No.
I gotta listen to the radio.
Lily says that she loves sitting upstairs at Pinocchio Village House. Yeah. It doesn't that kind of have that breezeway that goes over like you could walk under it and you could sit there as well, right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. A lot of people will go and sit and try to get the small world view, but a lot of people forget there's an upstairs for Pinocchio's Village House.
House. Well, we hope we have another interesting show for everybody tonight. We could talk real quick about some other things, some Disney things and news and notes, but tonight we're going to focus on the Sherman Brothers and dive into the history of the Sherman Brothers with the very sad recent passing of Richard Sherman. We felt that, we should pay homage to the Sherman Brothers, all that they've done.
I will say everyone is sad, yes, but he was 95. It's not tragic. Let's applaud him, man. I would love to make. That's an achievement. I would love to get that.
Very decorated.
When you get there, I applaud you.
Life, you know?
Age. Yeah.
Yeah. And contributed a lot definitely to Disney. If you're a fan of Disney and Disney movies and some attractions, their music still lives on. So, Robert Sherman passed away some years ago, and Richard just recently, several days ago. But we want to focus on the positive that they contributed, and so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But as always, talking about music. I'm sorry if you could hear my dog barking because I guess somebody just came to the door. If we're talking about music, we need to talk about our sponsor, D-Magic World, dmagicworld.com, because they are the number one streaming Disney music site out there. So if you just head over to dmagicworld.com, you can listen to the Disney parks and attractions music station. They also have a Disney movie station, so you'll be able to hear a lot of the Sherman Brothers classics on both of those stations that dmagicworld.com offers. Or if you want, you can also request through dmagicworld.com if you'd like to hear one of the Sherman Brothers classics. Just type it in and let them know over there. So please, Nonstop Disney Magic, go check out dmagicworld.com. Always our favorite source for streaming Disney music magic. How'd I do? You guys don't seem impressed with that.
Sorry, I'm dealing with an overgrown child over here.
Hi, overgrown child. You're talking about me?
No.
I'm like an overgrown child too, but
I'm the biggest kid. I know I am.
Kim gets annoyed with me as well. Lily says, love their songs. Richard had a good long life. He really did. So again, we're going to honor them tonight. And we're going to talk about a lot of the great things they did. Poor Jay, says Lily. And again, look, we have a comment here. It must be from YouTube's. Tinana says, when are you at Disney? You don't need the radio. Yeah, I know. Well, because you have music in the background. But for our sponsor, D-Magic World, I'm going to say,
Tina, and that's why I like you, because I'm the same.
Yes. I'm never going to grow up. Don't ask me to grow up. It's not going to happen. We're streaming all over the place, so check us out everywhere.
Doctor Who once said, there's no point in Doctor Who. There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes. And Doctor Who now streaming on Disney Plus.
That's right.
This week's episode 73 yards. This week's episode 73 yards. Even if you don't like science fiction, don't know what Doctor. Watch this episode. It is really great piece of television.
Top notch, eh?
Yeah.
Is the TARDIS here at Disney Springs or over in Disney?
It's here, and I'm gonna go in my David Tennant tipped out the costume shirt with my screwdriver, and I'm gonna go get a picture and put the TARDIS.
Screwdriver. Hello to Kim, who's just popping in. Hello. I'm just checking everything out again. We're all over social media. God bless you. No sneezing during the show, okay? You save that for after the show, Donald. We are live all over social media. We've got Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Live, and LinkedIn, all the other places. I'm checking us out right now on YouTube, see how we're doing over there. Lily John says hello to Kim. I'm sorry I'm late. You know what, Kim? Same thing. Don't apologize. Just don't do it again. Okay.
You get a demerit, but you can earn that off.
Right. You save that for
a little community service, and okay.
Yeah. So we're going to talk real quick because Donald, you brought up Disney Springs. Has anyone seen any of the drone show that just started up recently?
I've seen how crowded it is and went, phew, I dodged a bullet by not going to Springs this weekend.
No.
Yeah. So the drone show premiered at Disney Springs, 2 shows. An evening, about 10 minutes each, all the way up till September. Hi, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the fabulous Miss Marie and my schedules have not been linking up, and it's just not right going to Disney without Marie.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I wouldn't do that without Kim.
Yeah.
So
And I wouldn't be able to sleep comfortably at night.
with her standing over you with a knife,
A baseball bat.
No.
Yeah.
Right? Something.
Is it wrong now that I'm a local? I really enjoy going alone in the mornings and getting to just do whatever I want.
If that's your thing,
Have to just this. I get to explore it. The way I used to Disneyland. It's a brand new world for me.
You could go to Hollywood Studios and go over to get a nice breakfast Ronto wrap.
Yeah, you could. You could, or you could go to Magic Kingdom. You go to any of the parks by yourself. I mean, it all sounds fun. I'm just saying.
I had decades of exploring Disneyland, and so this is like getting to do it all over again. And I got no one to slow me down, baby. It's whatever I want to see.
I don't blame you, Jay.
Finding the best bathroom on property.
Excuse me. Kim says she'd like to explore the shops by herself. Of course she would.
Oh, Kim, I'll do that. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Well, but she has to take Alan too.
Yeah, of course. I don't think she would mind the company at all.
Alan is fun at Disney.
Oh, Alan's probably fun anywhere, to be honest with you. I mean, he's just fun.
You guys are
anyone that can end up at the Emporium when they started at Epcot and not know how they got in the Emporium. That's pretty good.
Right.
You know what? That's what I call amateur hour.
So, T9, you bring up a good point. So, and if you haven't seen it yet, the first night that the drone show premiered, the first show, not just media was there, but people packed it in. And after the first show, it was about an hour standoff. People could not make their way out of the viewing area. Literally couldn't move. So, I don't think Disney Springs was prepared for that crowd. But T90, you're absolutely correct. The second show is I think at 10 o'clock, and it's probably a lot less crowded. If you take someone with you, let me mute Jay. If you take someone with you, you aren't by yourself. This is very true. I don't think that's a failure on Disney's part. I don't think they just planned for it to be that crowded, but if you haven't seen any of the footage, it's cute. It's definitely cute. And I think it adds a nice little thing, I'm
really, really sorry. I will be back in 10 minutes. Something just came up that I have to handle right now.
All right. Pop off, Jay. Let me remove him. There we go. All right. And let me mute him too. This drone show, again, I think it's going to, I don't think people are going to flock there to see it, but if you're there, it's really cool to see. And it might bring more people into Disney Springs, if you're staying on property. I don't know what your thoughts are, Don.
I haven't seen it yet. Of course, it is a one-dimensional show, so your best seating is going to be directly in front of it, directly behind it.
Right.
If you try and watch it from Saratoga, they are not streaming the music over there.
Okay. Yeah. So you're only going to get that, I guess, over in Disney Springs. Yeah.
And I'm going to wait for the hysteria to die down, and then maybe in July we'll go see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lily says she looks forward to seeing if we have time. And that's what I think. If I'm there and I have time, I'll see it. Kim says this having some people on Facebook and some on YouTube is confusing me. Well, we've always been doing that, Kim, but it just now the problem is, again, we all know the issues with Facebook not allowing third-party apps to stream. So this is what it is. I'm just happy people are here to hear us ramble on. But I've been recently watching a vlogger, Kyle Palo, who I'm new to. He's not new to it, but I'm new to his vlogs, and I like them. And he was invited to the media event. What he said in his vlog of it was, you probably couldn't see it come across, but they are 3D. But it looked in the vlog as a one-dimensional thing, but they actually do turn. They rotate, so they're not just drones making an image. Some of them are like active, and but it's really just great technology. I can't believe drones have come that far for them to be able to do this. So yeah, T90 will try to see this in September, and that's so, but it's cool. It adds another another element to another part of Disney for people to do. So what else is in the Disney news? I mean, we've talked about a lot of the other things that are going on, right? Tiana's opening, and soon we'll have previews of that.
Yeah. One of the things that was coming up, on the annual pass group, a lot of people that had the DAS are not, they're kicking them out of the system. They're not allowing them to have that, they talk about going on a telephone interview, and
right,
if they don't use the good catchphrases, they get kicked to a medical professional that goes further in depth.
Right.
And a lot of the people are not being offered the service.
Which we knew with the changes being announced, right?
Yeah.
So it's more for cognitive disabilities, autism, and stuff like that. This is no longer about. I mean, somebody wanted to post something in the group, and I didn't think it was appropriate, but it said people with like IBS, standing in line for Space Mountain for like a couple hours, and I was like, oh no, because they didn't get their DAS, but. They're not going to allow it for certain things where people were getting it. And I think, this is Disney's way of managing it a little bit better. I'm not saying it's fair to some and unfair to others. That's not my point. What I'm saying is I think they're getting back to the roots of its intended use, which was disabilities. But some of those disabilities are being excluded now, which were being incorporated into it, right?
Yeah, it's one of those. Let's say I have a problem with my legs and I can't stand in line. What the solution is? Oh, you have someone stand in line, and when they get to the front, you can join them. But in recent years, they've been cutting back on allowing people to do that.
Yeah. They've been tightening the strings on the whole program. I've noticed, even with us, with having an autistic child and utilizing the DAS, they're even tightening the strings on like after you do the pre-registration online, which I'm used to. We've been doing that past several years, and you set up your advanced DAS attractions. Once you're there and in the park, like 24 hours or before or once you're into the park for your visit, they're not doing any adjustments. So where in the past they may have been apt to like adjust something for you or help you out, they're not doing that. They have really gotten strict with it. So Kim says, I'm seeing a lot of crazy DAS videos as well. It's kind of sad, to be honest. One was a lady that truly had a heart condition that affected her speech, and they denied her. I mean, so, this is something I think people are going to have to get used to, and they're going to have to make that decision whether or not they can forgo the parks with or without it. And maybe Disney will come back to allowing other different disabilities to be incorporated. I don't know.
The DAS, the DAS was invented because people were taking advantage of the old disability system. If you showed up with a wheelchair, if you showed up with crutches, you got to go. Your group got to go to the front of the line. So everyone brought crutches with them.
Yeah.
So now they're like, no, we're going to do something different because people abused it. Now we're back into people abusing it, maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Disney feels they need to tighten it up
Right.
somehow. So
Right.
this is their answer.
And unfortunately, T90 says, unfortunately, the abuses have ruined it for people who really need it. And that's kind of like the whole thing. Like, you're going to punish the group for something that one person did, but it's always hard in that situation to punish some by punishing everyone, basically, you know. So people did abuse the system.
Yeah. The people that abuse the system will go up, they caught me, and they will keep going.
Right, but now
unfortunately that net meant to catch them may catch other people.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And I think it's a lifetime ban if you get caught lying, right? Cheating this DAS system. So you will be banned if you're caught.
From the parks, not from the DAS. You'll be permanently trespassed from Disney property.
Right.
And if you're an annual pass holder, your annual pass will be deactivated without refund.
Wow. Yeah, so they're taking this pretty serious. And part of me commends them, and then part of me is kind of like, God, I wish there was a better way to figure all this out. You know,
they're no longer like when Marie and I would come and visit you guys. You didn't put us on your DAS for the whole trip.
Yeah.
But when we would come and visit, you would say, "Hey, our friends are here with us. Can they?" And we didn't have any problem with that. They would say, "Oh, okay, no problem. We get it." But now that can't happen.
Right, exactly. No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they definitely are tightening up. Okay, well, hopefully Skipper Jay, everything's okay with him. He had to leave in a hurry, but I'm going to monitor all the comments here on both different sides, and we're gonna talk about the Sherman Brothers. So, Don, you have a lot of good information on the Sherman Brothers, and I think your knowledge is definitely going to come into play with tonight's topic. So, again, going back to what we were saying earlier, is unfortunately Richard M. Sherman passed away, on May 25th. And his brother Robert Sherman had passed away, back in March of 2012. But for those who don't know, and this is a picture of the Sherman Brothers with Walt, in front of the piano. This picture is infamous. If you're a fan of Disney or Disney music and attraction music, this picture is infamous. So
I can almost hear him singing "It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow."
Right, exactly. And if we weren't going to get copyright, I would definitely play that. But they're an American songwriting duo that specialized in musical films. And again, it was made up of brothers Robert B. Sherman and Richard M. Sherman. They've done so much. And, anyone tuning in, if you want to let us know in the comments, what is your favorite, musical score that the Sherman Brothers did? Let us know while we're chatting. But Don, what do you, you've got a lot of background on the Sherman Brothers. What,
to begin with, they were born into a musical family.
Right. Great point to start off with.
Their father, Al Sherman, used to write music for Al Jolson.
Right. Yeah.
And his most famous song was "I Want to Be a Football Hero."
Mm-hmm. And didn't he dare them? Isn't that how the brothers started, based on a dare by their dad?
Yep, it was based on a dare by their father. They said he bet them. Now here they are. They're both out of college. Robert Sherman, who had to delay his college career because he went into he was I think he volunteered because he was 17 years old and joined the Army. Wounded combat veteran, and went all the way through World War II and got actually wounded at the end of World War II.
And this was Richard Sherman?
That was
Robert Sherman.
Robert, yeah.
Okay.
Robert Sherman. And
Hey, Jay.
if you watch Saving Mr. Banks, and you see him walking with a cane, and the Mary Poppins lady goes, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" And Richard goes, "Oh, he got shot in the leg," and she goes, "Oh, figures." Well, yes, he was a combat infantryman from World War II and had been wounded.
T9 says Mary Poppins, hand down her favorite. Lily John says so many songs that I love. Yeah. And going back to the original, what we were saying about their father, he was a songwriter, Al Sherman, for Tin Pan Alley. So I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if
that was a section of New York City during the 1920s,
right?
That just artists would walk down in that building and just listening to the different people, and if you were loud enough and they heard you over everyone else, mm-hmm. that they would stop and listen.
Right.
So I can't imagine walking down that hall and just hearing all the different music coming out of the room.
Seriously.
Oh, that would be so fun. I would so be into that.
Clayton Barbara Coleman says Queen of Battle. And that's one I don't know from the Sherman Brothers.
The Queen of the Battle refers to. Once I hear Queen of Battle, I think of infantry, because that's what we're referred to, the Queen of the Battle.
Just to backtrack on what you're talking about, him being a vet, it was really sad because we came back from the war changed, as a lot of soldiers do.
Yeah.
And so him and his brother, they worked together, but they didn't socialize together. He came back so changed that relationship was altered.
I read his autobiography.
Yes.
Yeah, I read his autobiography. It's called Moose, and he was basically undiagnosed PTSD.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
So that's what the initial M stands for, Moose?
No, that was just his nickname.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was unfortunately one of the first American soldiers into Dachau. And as what could have gone through his mind as a Jewish soldier. Yeah. So we can understand what happened.
Right.
So he delayed his college career, and when he got, once he was healthy enough to get discharged, he and now his little brother, who's 2.5 years younger, now they both go to college, and they're both freshmen. So, they both graduated at the same time. And then they moved back to California and rented a room there was a immature marriage while Richard. Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I'm reading. Jay wrote something in the private chat. I just saw that now. I'm sorry.
So he got married real young, and the marriage didn't work. But as in his own words, out of the marriage, he got a beautiful daughter.
Right.
So
right.
And then when the marriage broke up, the two brothers lived together in an apartment.
So
there's a series right there. Disney Plus.
Seriously.
There's a TV series right there. Credit Skipper J.
The Sherman Brothers wrote more motion picture musical song scores than any other songwriting team in film history. Just to give you a little bit of what their work includes, The Parent Trap, Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, the animated films The Sword and the Stone, The Jungle Book, Except for Bare Necessities, Charlotte's Web, The Aristocats. I always struggle with that one. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, And then some of their theme park songs. Of course, there's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and It's a Small World After All.
Oh, Dave, I have,
The
I have,
Tiki
I
Room?
have to, I have to put a pin in this because they wrote Magic Journeys, and I don't know, it was the trippiest attraction ever in Magic Kingdom. And if none of you have heard this song, and if you're listening on the podcast right now, pause and go look up Magic Journeys, Epcot, and listen to this song because the lyrics are like beat poetry. It is so 70s and so surreal.
Right.
And you're like, these are the same guys that wrote Small World?
Right. Well, I mean,
all-
so definitely an array of music. Real quick, Don, Clayton Barber Coleman says he will forever be the ultimate earworm. Just have to say it's a small world and your brain takes over. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is one. It is most recognizable song possibly in the world.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now,
Small World does get stuck in your head, but I really love It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. I really love that song.
Well, how about
and Let's Go
One
Fly
Little
Kite.
Spark.
One little right.
One little spark.
Right from Figment, Journey into Imagination.
They wrote a song called 10 Feet Off the Ground from the one and only original Genuine Family Band in the 60s. It was a Disney movie. And this song was covered by Louis Armstrong. And Louis is one of my all-time favorite artists. And this is actually one of my all-time favorite songs that they wrote that made it out into like a real world song.
Right.
Ringo Starr covered one of their songs. She's only 16.
Oh, yeah. So I just saw that they did that too, but I didn't know he covered it.
Yeah. Now, but you haven't mentioned the song that got the camel's nose under the tent.
No, tell me.
The first song, they wrote a song for Annette Funicello called Tall Paul. And that's Walt. That's how Walt found these guys. Walt, they wrote this song. She recorded it, and next thing you know, they're getting a call to meet with Walt Disney.
Wow.
We want you to, do a song for the Horsemen with Annette Funicello.
Wow.
So they wrote that song. They sat down and like, okay, they wrote that song. And then they called them back in. And they thought they were being called back in to talk about, this song they wrote for the Horsemen.
Right.
And Walt says, they're trying to talk to Walt about this song they wrote, and he's distracted. And he's like, he gave them a copy of Mary Poppins and said, what do you think about this book, and how would you make the movie? Take this book and go back and look at it. So they were like, okay. And of course they sold the song to about the Horsemen, but that's where they started looking into Mary Poppins.
And they won 2 Academy Awards for Mary Poppins, which includes the songs Feed the Birds and Jay.
Dosha Sally Espiistic Fragicali Rupus.
Yes,
no, the other way, Jay.
Yeah, the other way.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Lily John says, I remember that song, Tall Paul. Yeah, so
Tall Paul's good, but Pineapple Princess, which they also wrote for Annette,
that was another one for.
It's a 50s banger. Go seek it out.
Yeah, and Chim Chim Cheree. So very cool.
And after they got it, and it wasn't. If you watch Saving Mr. Banks, that's just a small part of their involvement in that movie, because prior to the author showing up in California, there was like 2 or 3 years of development. It didn't happen all overnight.
Yeah, these things don't always happen quickly,
And but while they were developing that, that's when they were invited. I'm trying to remember. They were invited to become part of the Disney staff. Walt created a position on the staff for a staff songwriters.
No.
And they said it was very unique, very, no other studio had these staff songwriters.
Is the movie on Disney Plus Saving Mr. Banks?
I think so. I think it is.
And for folks that aren't familiar with it, what is the movie about, Saving Mr. Banks? So Tom Hanks plays in
Walt
the movie.
Disney.
Plays
It's
Walt
about
Disney
what an
in the
awful
movie.
woman P.L. Travers was. Let's be honest.
Thank you for saving me, Jay. I was had a senior moment.
Don't worry, Don. I will
Travis.
throw myself under the bus.
Yeah, but and it's about she was very unique, and she didn't like children. P.L. Travers, who wrote Mary Poppins, didn't like children.
Dude, she likes nothing.
Yeah.
Lily John says, love Saving Mr. Banks. Just because they write a story like that doesn't mean that the children is their cup of tea, or, I mean, isn't that what they say about some other people, famous authors? In the 1970s, Shermans returned to Disney for a brief stint where they completed work on the Aristocats and Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah. Well, after Walt passed away, there was a lot of jealousy because these were Walt's boys.
Right.
And there was a lot of jealousy, and they were looking for what scripts do you want us to work on now? And they weren't getting the scripts.
Oh.
Yeah. They actually left Disney, and that's when they did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Right.
Which, speaking of people who didn't like children, you guys know that was written by Ian Fleming.
Yeah. James Bond.
Yeah.
Right. So the first non-Disney assignment came in the motion picture Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in 1968, and then they later returned to Disney. So yeah. Yep.
So,
I'm asking you guys real quick, just Chitty Chitty Bang Bang question. Am I the only one that's still terrified by that movie?
No, I think it's a great movie. Well, I like Benny Hill.
I love Benny Hill.
Me too.
Yeah.
That movie scares.
Lily says she really liked the documentary The Boys about the Sherman Brothers.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. Mm-hmm. Watch Saving Mr. Banks and watch The Boys, and you'll start seeing how they fit together. Right.
When you have a collection of people that you're comfortable with, I mean, that's who you tend to stick with,
It's funny because you would think what's best for the company is to keep the people. Well, the person who brought it, the person whose it is you would think you want to keep that piece of it, not kick them out.
Right.
Walt would have kept that piece. Walt understood. Walt kept reinvesting money into his company.
Yeah.
That's the only way they got through the Depression, because he didn't take his money and put it in stocks and bonds. He put his money back into the company, and everything he did was to further the goal of the company. When I was talking to one of the tour guides of the Keys to the Kingdom, they talked about Walt started with cartoons. Then he went to live action, and went to animation, live action. Then when he was done with live action, what's the next thing to do? Well, you bring the movies and the cartoons out off the
screen. Build a theme park. Yeah.
And you build a theme park around them. Now you're in. Yeah. So this was his journey, and that's. What would his next step? Well, his next step would have been Epcot.
Yeah.
If he had lived long enough, he would have built a bigger Centennial.
Yeah.
Centennial was a great experiment. Held a record for the town that didn't have any murders in it for so many years.
Yeah.
And then a love triangle, and well, there goes that record.
In 1976, The Slipper and the Rose was picked to be the Royal Command Performance of the Year. The performance was attended by Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. A modern musical adaptation of the classical Cinderella story, Slipper also featured song score and screenplay by the Sherman Brothers. 2 further Academy Award nominations. I believe they received a total of 9 Academy Award nominations throughout their career. So pretty damn well decorated.
It's a heck of an honor.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, they did the Jungle Book, which, I mean, love the Jungle Book, not just the animated, but the live action. One
of my favorite Disney songs, one of my top 5 favorite songs are theirs. I Want to Be Like You, Louis Prima, Phil Harris, in a swinging jazz number in the 60s.
It is, yeah.
Actually, my favorite, Let's Get Together.
Oh, I love that
Isn't
song.
that Barry White? Let's get together.
No, a little bit higher.
Oh.
A little bit higher.
A little bit higher now.
Haley Mills.
How do you want
it? I mean, they continued their work into 2000s. The Sherman Brothers wrote the song score for the Disney film The Tigger Movie. It was their first major motion picture for the Disney company in over 28 years, and also their final film credit as a duo because Robert passed away in 2012.
Yeah. Now Robert relocated and was living in England, over in London.
Yeah.
You know, he, at a certain, I can't remember what year, but he went over to London and he liked it over there, and that's where he lived.
Yeah, Lily says she really liked Let's Get Together also.
Thank you, Lily.
Check that out. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
You never watched The Parent Trap?
You know, I've never seen The Parent Trap.
Dave,
Dave has some homework to do tonight.
I haven't seen the Aristocats either.
We're gonna finish the show.
Yeah.
So Donna, I see your Let's Get Together and I Raise You, the Monkey's Uncle. One of my top 5 favorite songs of theirs. Annette and the Beach Boys doing a swinging groovy 60s number. You see a theme with me. You see a theme with me, right?
You like the 60s. Jay, you were born in the wrong era.
Sometimes I think I was, man. I would have done well in the 50s and 60s. And the 70s and the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I grew up during the 70s. Yeah. Started school in the 60s, grew up during the 70s, and I can tell you disco sucks.
I agree. Disco sucks.
I thought I knew you guys, man.
No,
I grew up during the era, and I was not impressed. Now, you want to talk about some classic Southern rock in the 70s now.
No.
There we go.
Yeah,
no.
Right, no. And then you want to move on to when punk starts kicking in? Yeah.
That's my era right there, dude.
I want to skip all of the disco nonsense.
That's not music, that's noise.
Yeah.
How dare you? Cruella, that was my Disney movie, man. That was like Disney made a reward for me. Emma Stone, punk, 70s. It was just everything.
Yeah, I really enjoy punk music a lot. It's one of my favorite musical genres.
Thank you, P9. Disco does not suck.
Taking it down.
Okay,
keep putting it up. I'm taking it down.
We keep doing this with the button.
Disco does suck.
Disco
she says
does
it does
suck.
She says locals that like disco should have their local card taken away. I am not a fan of disco. My wife loves disco, but not
disco.
Me.
You did not club in the 90s when they would like mix in random disco songs with what we were listening to at the time.
I didn't go to those types of clubs in the 90s. I went to different places.
It was a different time, man. It was a different time.
I remember during the 80s when Pink did this mashup of a bunch of Beatles songs, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, seriously. No, I was going to clubs that played Depeche Mode and 9 Inch Nails, and
Oh, I did the goth clubs too, but like
definitely no disco.
I went to the gay clubs, man. We had way better music.
Oh, I'm sure.
Way better music.
Yeah, I love great music. It's just the disco is something that I couldn't dive into.
Let me know.
So, question to my fellow panelists.
Yeah.
If you had one question to ask the Sherman Brothers, what would it be?
Oh wow. You know what? I'm gonna pop this up, and I'm gonna say,
I know.
just tell me what's going on here in this photo. I mean, and just, I want the down and dirty. You know, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. I want to know. I just want to hear about that photo, but I want them to bring it to life. Lily says she loves the Aristocats. Yeah.
What a great score by George Bruns, which is another topic we have to do one day.
Yeah.
Jay, what would you ask?
I would ask what unused song do you wish got used?
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably. It's definitely. I think they wrote a song called "Disco Sucks," and that's the one they would have used. How about you, Don?
You know what? There is a Ethel Merman disco album out there. I need someone to make me a Sherman Brothers disco album. I need like the disco Feed the Birds. Come on.
No, wait, but they did have a song that never got published. It was called Locals. Followed up by Localish. And
I'm telling you, man, that's our next batch of t-shirts. That's our next batch of t-shirts.
If I had one question to ask the Sherman Brothers, I would have asked them, what was it like going to Walt's office on Friday afternoon? Walt having his old fashioned in his hand, looking out the window.
Yeah, room full of cigarette smoke.
I want to have a cigarette and an old fashioned.
Actually, that was not his smoking office. That was, he had a working office and he had a formal office. And he didn't smoke in his formal office.
Lily says she would like to hear more about the stories about Walt as well. And Kim says, sorry, had to leave a minute for a phone call. She's back. All right.
Yeah.
We'll let that go.
Yeah. What was it like? You know, he's at the window. He's looking out the window. He has his old fashioned in his hand. And he turns around and says, play the song, boys. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. That's so some Academy Awards. 1964 Academy Award for Best Original Song for Chim Chim Cheree from Mary Poppins. In 64 also Best Substantiality Original Score from Mary Poppins. 1968 the Academy Award for Best Original Song Chitty Chitty Bang Bang from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. 1971 nominated Academy Award in the category of Best Original Song for The Age of Not Believing from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Haven't seen that either. I need to. I think I definitely need to. Academy Award in the category of Best Scoring Adaptation and Original Score for Bedknobs and Broomsticks as well. That's in 1971 as well. 1973 Academy Award Best Scoring Original Song and or Adaptation for Tom Sawyer. Also Best Original Song for The Slipper and the Rose Waltz from The Slipper and the Rose. Nominated. These are all nominated. Best Original Song When You're Loved from The Magic of Lassie, 1978. Annie Awards. There's an Annie Awards? What's Annie Awards? 2000 nominated Annie in the category of Outstanding Individual Achievement for Music in the Animated Feature Production for the song Round My Family Tree from the Tigger movie. So
I'm sorry. I have to represent for Ludwig von Drake, one of my favorite Disney characters. Have you guys seen the old Ludwig? I can't speak. Ludwig von Drake character when he sings the Spectrum song, the Green with Envy Blues. They are hilarious.
Yeah,
they wrote this song and the animators animated these two cartoons to perfection. It is like peak Disney. If you haven't heard these two songs, go find them right now.
They also wrote music for the Peanuts cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's a funky jam right there.
Schroeder's.
Yeah, you know what? Nominated Grammy in the category Best Original Score for a Children's Show for Snoopy Come Home.
Yeah.
There you go, Don. They also did an Italian thing. They were nominated Grammy in the category for Best Original Score for a Musical Show for Over Here Now. I'm Over Here Now. Over Here Now. No, it's just called Over Here, but I had to make that Italian. They won Golden Laurel in the category of Best Song Chim Chim Cheree. Man, they are very decorated. If you start to look through all of the things that they were involved in and what they won and or nominated for, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim says they wrote Snoopy Come Home. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, there you go.
I mean the legacy. Yeah, but the legacy they leave behind. I mean, 100 years from now, people are still going to be listening to this music.
Yes,
still talking about this music. Still stories.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the Disney Plus series Pop Culture?
Disney
and when
Plus.
it was called Pop Culture, and they went back Prop Culture, and they went back and they found all the different props when they were doing Mary Poppins. At the end of Mary Poppins, they had Richard Sherman in the office at the piano, and they mentioned that he was the only person allowed to play that piano.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the piano that he would play the songs for Walt on. And they talked about Feed the Birds. And they actually had the snow globe from Feed the Birds.
Yeah.
So now that he's passed away, are they locking the piano never to be played again?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Maybe that's for the best. Maybe maybe put in a museum for everyone to see, not locked away.
Yeah, there you go. That would be nice. Maybe bring it over to One Man's Dream in Hollywood Studios.
I watched that show and I couldn't get past that Vincent from the Black Hole was in there. And man, I'm telling you, if I get 5 minutes in that prop warehouse, I just need 5.
I'll distract them, Jay.
5. I can do it in 4 if I hurry.
Was that Vincent Price?
No, Vincent the Robot from the Black Hole. My favorite.
Black Hole was a cutting edge movie from the 70s.
Okay. Let me put it to you this way, audience. If you want to bribe me, there's only one way. It's with Black Hole stuff. Black Hole stuff.
I thought it was Dr.
Well,
Who.
what about? I thought it was Mr. Toad stuff.
Yeah, and Dr. Who.
If you want to go to the top of the list in bribes, there's a tier like Patreon and bribery, and Black Hole's at the very, very top.
These locals can be bribed in many different ways.
That's like my gold level Patreon. If you want to in bribing, it's Black Hole. But Doctor Who. Mansion Tower Terror. You can Jungle Cruise. You can, but it's a scale. I'll have a graphic next week.
I wonder if there's a way they can incorporate more, like, One Man's Dream, more history on the Sherman Brothers, and of course it's Walt's dream, but how they were involved, with the music and Walt, and or pay homage to them as a duo, and how much they contributed.
I bet you we'll see more in the upcoming years.
To them. They have a door on Main Street.
Yeah, like the windows and doors that have the names on them, right? Yeah. Is it still there?
I think it's in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
have to look up what it is, but they actually use Sherman Brothers music, and they have some corny saying.
Two things before we wrap up, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I will throw out there. They also wrote the song Fortuosity for the one and only Genuine Family Original American Band. That's why I can't speak tonight. You will hear that song on the Main Street Loop. It's one of my favorite. I love hearing on the Main Street Loop.
Isn't that from Something Millionaire?
Happiest Millionaire. Happiest Millionaire. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. And secondly, if I recommend going to Disney Music Emporium where they have Simply Sherman on vinyl. It's only 8 tracks, but it's a really great. It's a really great way to have them to listen to them at home.
Yeah. Lily says they added so much depth to the Disney story. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
What's a good way? If people want to dive deeper into the Sherman Brothers, so we talked about, watching The Boys, watching, Saving Mr. Banks, right? And then, you can read about them or you can listen to the music, but what's a good way for people to really to learn about them, or what way maybe can they incorporate them if possible anymore into the parks? Do you guys think possible?
I think it's possible, like Tortuosity. I think it's possible to incorporate any of those songs into anywhere in the parks if you just take that music and do it right. You can you can make a song work in Tomorrowland of theirs if you do it.
I mean,
true. If you make it futuristic, right?
They could do a tribute in Hollywood Studios, One Man's Dream, the theater.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Disney company do a tribute.
That would be neat, right?
In One Man's Dream, yeah.
Yellow Shoes,
do a
call
documentary tribute, and
Yeah, Yellow Shoes, call me, because Dawn just gave me this idea. Do a ride where it's just the Sherman Brothers songs and those scenes from the Disney movies.
Okay, well they're gonna have to do something with Rock and
Roller
Coaster.
Replace the Great Movie Ride.
The Sherman Brothers coaster?
No, not the coaster. Like you could do the Great Movie Ride, but just Sherman Brothers scenes from Disney movies.
Lily, that is a great idea, Don. Yeah. How about Tower of the Sherman Brothers? I knew that would get you.
No, I still Rock and Roller Coaster is going to need some new music, so you can just put the Sherman Brothers in there.
Seriously. I heard that's reopening it's reopening in July, I believe.
Coming soon, yeah.
I think there's definitely expiration date on that music.
Yeah, I said, do we want to take bets? I'm betting D23. We're going to hear both that and unfortunately Twilight Zone themes leaving Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. When is D23? What are the dates?
It's too expensive around the corner.
Because I think I read July 28th or something like that was when Rock and Roller Coaster was going to open back up.
Yeah. You'll find me by the interstate with my bucket. Want to go to D23? Help? Any help?
Yeah, seriously. I would love to attend one of these D23, get-togethers. They seem like a lot of fun.
Only if I come up with like one of the best cosplays there. Or am I going?
Yeah, I just want to take it all in. Seems like a fun event. I'd like to vlog it. Yeah.
Well, maybe someone's going to be doing that stuff soon.
If we get enough viewers, you'll get invited.
Seriously. Yeah.
I'm with Mary. Too crowded.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary.
Yeah, I've never attended one of them.
Ate at Tony's. It's improved.
That's what I hear.
I am hearing so a lot of different vlogs on their new menu, and people are saying but I think it's item specific, like you have to pick the right items, right? Yeah. So I mean that bread that they have with the
garlic bread, the tower of garlic bread.
Right. That's
great.
That looks good. It does look good because it's a white sauce. It's not, I don't want to dip it in a red sauce. Yeah. But
that is I can't I never reached the end, but I still can't believe that is prime real estate in the Neverland theme park.
It really is
so wasted.
Think about it.
Yeah. Mary, I took one for the team, knowing how bad it could be, just to so I could report for our fans.
I mean, yeah, it is a prime spot, and if you catch it at the right time, you can watch a parade from the outside if the weather is really nice, and enjoying a meal. But maybe one day they'll move away from Tony's. I was thinking earlier, because I'm always thinking ahead for the next show, and I'm wondering if we should come back and do another.
I'm sorry, I actually have to run downstairs. The Amazon guy is. I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry.
All right.
I had a lot of fun tonight. It was a great show.
We had fun with you. Make sure you disconnect yourself.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm thinking maybe next week we can maybe come back to Universal's Epic Universe, because we did a show a while ago and it seemed to have done well, and I'm wondering maybe because they're so much further along in that project, we can, it's just something for next week maybe. Make that something. They should make that something magical. You are absolutely correct. It is a beautiful spot. But yeah, so that's next week. So again, as always, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, taking their time out on their Wednesday evening to spend time with us, which is really just means a lot to us. And we felt that the topic was something that that would not just be fun, but again to pay homage to the Sherman Brothers and rest in peace Richard Sherman, who recently passed. But they deserve a lot of credit and a lot of accolades for what they bring to Disney still to this day. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and we'll be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So as always, thank you to Disney Don and Skipper Jay for being my co-host tonight. And we've got a little outro here for you, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Good night, everyone.